Absolutely.
Second, just give it a second.
It's being live streamed. Got it?
1 second. Just loading. You are live, John. Take it away.
Absolutely brilliant. Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to this opportunity meeting on a lovely Wednesday down in sunny Weymouth. No, it wasn't. I'm John Bates. I've been with CashFX now for 20 months. I started at absolute zero people, zero income. I only came in at $500 because I was a bit of a tightwad. I certainly don't want to put too much in. And 20 months later, I'm at the manager level with a team of about 5,300 underneath me, and and I'm at the 100K package as well. Is it because I'm absolutely brilliant? No, certainly not. I managed to find a few brilliant people, and all of them are on here tonight. A few brilliant people that were so good that they made me look good. Am I grateful? Yeah, I'm slightly over 21. I don't know if anybody's noticed that. Good. I can't even. I'm 21. How old was I then? Oh, I must have been 21. Yeah. No, I'm at the young age of 77. I first saw CashFX at 75 years of age. I knew absolutely nothing about IT, computers, and mobile phones still baffle me. I make phone calls on my phone. I don't know what you lot do. Some people run their life on it. I don't know how they do it. But I had to learn from the age of 75 how to come into the 21st century. And I was fortunate that I had a good friend of mine in James Curtis, who has the patience of Job. How he manages to teach this old geezer how to actually work a computer and download software and funny things like that, I'll never know. But I take my hat off to him. What a great teacher. And he says, one of the things you have to be in network marketing, you have to be a servant leader. You've got to be able to wear two hats. You're both a leader and you're also a follower. I'm following James, but I'm leading the group underneath me. And with that, I'm going to get Kevin to put on a thought-provoking video. And after the video, then we'll bring on the main player of tonight. Okay, can you do that, Kev? Oh, great. I'm frozen.
No, that was a different picture.
Yeah. Got no sound, Kev.
Sorry, guys, technical issue. 1 second. Right, we should be right now.
There are lessons that we can take from this
Can you go
global
back to the
pandemic.
beginning?
We are all equal. At this time of unprecedented worry and anxiety, driven by a single virus, baffling the brightest minds in science, there are lessons that we can take from this global pandemic. We are all equal, regardless of our culture, religion, occupation, financial situation, or social status. It is reminding us that we're all connected, and something that affects one person affects another. It is also reminding us just how important family and home are, how providing for those we love is of critical importance, especially in times of crisis, and how difficult or even impossible that can become under certain circumstances. The world we know is going to change. There's no escaping that fact. One thing still in your control: what you do with your time. There's a tiny percentage of people globally that are completely free of debt, not beholden to anyone. And as incredible as that may sound, anyone can accomplish a similar degree of this success. With proper guidance, you can attain the same freedom and the same peace of mind to enjoy family and friends, regardless of what may be happening in the world around you. While real financial security is available to everyone, it doesn't happen on its own, and it's not easy, but it is absolutely possible for you. To learn what steps you can take today, and to make sure that you're numbered amongst those that are financially free, get back to the person that shared this video with you and take action today.
Okay, yep. Can everyone hear me? Yep. Thumbs up. Yeah, lovely. Right. I always find that a very thought-provoking video from the point of view that so many of us are taught from a young age. Certainly do well at school. And if you do well at school, you'll get yourself a good job with a boss who's got an even bigger car and a bigger house than you've got. I don't know how many people relate to that. And what we discovered, Pauline and I did, Pauline was a staff nurse, and I was in business for myself in construction. What we actually found was, after 50 years of paying in for a pension, and I don't know how many of you are actually going to get a pension now. I think you've got to start paying in again, haven't you? After 50 years of paying in, twice, that makes 100 years paying in. Pauline and I get a joint state pension of, wait for it, folks, I did look at it the other day, it's gone up slightly, £280 a week for paying into a pension fund for 100 years. Now, I don't know if people think that's a wonderful result, but I certainly don't. And what I actually found out was, if you couldn't live on 100% of your income, when you retire, how the hell do you think you're ever going to live on a quarter of it? I don't think my pension only just about, I think it just about pays the mortgage, sort of thing. So for all of you who are looking at this for the first time, consider putting something else in place to offset that dreaded day when you're 87. They've moved the goalposts, or is it 88 now? I don't know. 87, when your income drops down to not worth having. Are John and Pauline pleased that they put something that special in? You're damn right we are, because any ideas of us carrying out our favorite hobby, and yes, we do have hobbies. We like to get on big silver birds and fly to different places around the world. Unfortunately, with COVID, we haven't managed to do that just lately. So bear in mind, what you're looking at can provide you with that safety net for, I don't know, you don't have, do people realize you don't have to wait till you're 67 to retire? It's nothing to do with age, it's got to do with money in the bank. If you was earning another £5,000 a month, £10,000 a month, maybe you could think of retiring early. Maybe you could think of retiring in the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Wouldn't that be great? I've got a grandson who's 22 years of age, and he's building an incredible CashFX business. Am I envious of him? You're damn right I am. He's 22 and I'm 77. One of us is going to get a better deal out of this thing. And with that, I'm going to introduce you to a lady that I've come to know over the months as one of the most incredible ladies I've ever known. Her knowledge of the financial market Well, she'd need the Encyclopedia Britannica to write it all down in, and she is absolutely brilliant. She's from Northern Ireland, where it rarely rains. Well, it rains every hour in Northern Ireland. And I'm going to introduce you to present this opportunity to my good friend, Julianne Burns.
Oh, thanks, John. That's lovely. What an introduction. Yeah. But anyway, everybody, I just want to welcome you all here this evening, whether you're watching, you know, on via our Zoom link tonight or live on YouTube, or maybe you're watching via catch up. It always really, you know, I always really like to give people a, you know, make sure you give yourselves a pat on the back, you know, for coming on to one of these things, because you know, we advertise them on Facebook and amongst our friends and different people, you know, all the time. And not everybody takes us up on it. And we understand that, you know, because everybody, you know, seems to feel, you know, think that they're sort of happy as I am, and maybe don't think that they have to look outside the box and look for a plan B. But, you know, we're living in really unprecedented times right now. You know, it doesn't have to be about, you know, looking for a plan B because, you know, your pension is only going to be a quarter of your salary when you get to that, you know, pensionable age. You know, these unprecedented times, you know, look at all, you just have to look around you. The signs are all there. You know, you've got the job losses, you've got the business closing, you've got inflation, you've got prices of things going up. I mean, you only have to look at petrol, you know, for a start. I mean, every time I go past a petrol pump, I nearly die. I think, you know, I nearly have a crash actually. And I think, my goodness, where's it going? And this is only the tip of the iceberg. You know, we all think we're comfortable as we are if you haven't lost your job right now or your business hasn't collapsed. But believe me when I say we are moving into times that are going to be way, way, way worse than, you know, recessions of the past, you know, recessions of 2008, 2009. That is where we're going. If any of you don't think we are, you know, you need to do a wee bit more looking around, a wee bit more digging, because you'll find that that's where it's going. You know, there's talk of, you know, maybe banks and, you know, the fiat currency, our normal currency that we use, you know, there's talk of it, you know, collapsing. And, you know, you only have to look at, you know, the national debt in all the countries right around the world. That kind of debt is unsustainable, and you don't have to be, you know, a whiz, you know, with finances to understand that if that's not sustainable, what's going to happen. So we're going to have to look that wee bit outside the box, and it's great that we've got this opportunity here, and I'm so delighted that I've got involved way before, you know, it's maybe too late, you know. So so as I said before, give yourselves a pat on the back for taking that, you know, having that foresight of looking a little bit outside the box, and thinking to yourself, I'm really, really going to have to do something, you know, because we're in very, very serious times. So I will not ramble on anymore, and I'll just go straight on to the overview this evening. And it really is just a small, brief synopsis of this business. This business is a lot more, you know, there's a lot more avenues and you know, oh God, I've got a tongue tied already. I'm only into the presentation. Yeah, so it's a lot more complex, you know, whenever you get a wee bit into it and you get to understand it a wee bit more. But this overview is really just to give you a bit of an insight and a bit of an idea, and I hope it piques your interest. Okay, so I'm going to share the presentation with you right now. Okay, so CashFX, this is the business that we're all involved in. It is the hot business, well, I was going to say of the moment, but we call it a legacy business, which means that the founders have put all the foundations in place to make sure that it's going to be around for a very, very long time. And we're all very, very excited, you know, where we are right now. But the thought of where we're going to be in a year's time is absolutely mind blowing. So I'm going to welcome you to CashFX, and I'm going to give you a brief outline of what it's about. Okay, so most of us have heard of the stock exchange. I'm just going to look at these market comparisons here. Okay, now often people say to me sometimes that this business seems a wee bit too good to be true. And, you know, the old saying, you know, if it's too good to be true, then it probably is. Well, not the case in this business, because it's been going for over two years now, almost 2.5 years. And if it was some kind of too good to be true type business, some type of scam or scheme, well, I don't think that not many of them stick around for over 2 years, believe me. Okay. So whenever you're looking for, you know, a business, you have to have a wee look at, you know, well, what it is all about, what is it doing, and how feasible is it? And how sustainable is it? Now, first and foremost, you've all heard of the stock exchange. Not many of you have probably heard of the equities market, the futures market, or the Forex market. But as you can see from the little dollar bills there, there's money to be made in all of them. And everybody knows that you can make an absolute fortune on the stock exchange. But not many of us know that you can make a fortune in these other markets as well. And CashFX specifically zones in on the Forex market. Now, that might sound a wee bit complex to some of you listening here this evening. How am I going to make money on the Forex market? Am I going to have to learn how to invest? Am I going to have to learn how to trade? Well, the simple answer is if you want to, but you don't have to. Okay, and most of us don't really have to, because we've got professional traders that trade our money on the Forex market for us. Okay, now, so if you think it's a too good to be true kind of a business, well, look at the size of that market. I mean, if you think the stock market is big at 20 billion traded on it every single day, the Forex market has $5.3 trillion traded every single day. So somebody's making money on it, yeah? So isn't it just really refreshing that the CEOs of this business have set up this fantastic system where they allow the ordinary person to tap into it without having to understand how it all works. How fantastic is that? Well, I think it is anyway. We all think it is on the inside, and hopefully you guys will see a little bit of that tonight as well. Okay, right. I'm not going to go on too much about, all the ins and outs, but I want to really, what I really want to touch on is when you're looking for a plan B or a business that's a little bit outside the box, you're going to have to really look at a couple of things. And the first thing you want to look at is the founders. Okay, so we've got two CEOs here. Yeah, we've got joint CEOs, Huáscar Lopez and Edwin Abad. It's always very, very, it's a really, really good sign when you're looking at a plan B is to look at how visible are the founders, how visible do they talk to us, do they communicate with us, how quick do they communicate with us, are they just in the background, are they invisible? Well, the answer is an absolute no. These two, they hop on. We have a monthly call every single at the start of every single month. And they are available to most people, especially the ones that are sort of that wee bit more advanced in the business, on a daily basis or a weekly basis. So anything that is, anytime there's anything that needs to be communicated down, it's communicated absolutely instantly and straight away. So that's really comforting to know that the two CEOs in the business are always around and extremely accessible. Yeah. The second thing to look at when you're looking at a business is, does it have solid and stable premises? Because if you're looking at an online business and they're set up in some rented, room somewhere or some rented floor somewhere, well, the likelihood, well, maybe not the likelihood, but there is a strong possibility that they could up sticks and leave and you're left high and dry. But this business, they have absolutely bought out the whole 9th floor of the RBS building in Panama, bought completely outright. There's nothing mortgaged there. And we just, you can find it all over YouTube that we had our massive big ribbon cutting ceremony there a couple of months ago. Now, it should have happened about 1.5 years ago, but with COVID, obviously it dictated that there were many, many delays. So we had our massive big cutting ceremony there a couple of months ago. So there's another tick as well. Now, the other thing that I want to draw your attention to is the attrition. Now, if anybody doesn't understand what the word attrition means, is when I was looking in, when I look at I've been on several businesses online. When you look at attrition, that means what is the rate at how many people leave the business, and with CashFX, virtually nobody ever leaves this business. And the reason is because it's designed for high flyers and the people who are maybe just want to sit in the background and earn while they sleep as well. very, very unique, because many businesses I've been in before, you really, really have to be one of these go-getters. You know, you need to spend a lot of time at it. You need to invite loads of people. You need to recruit. You need to do this, that, and the other. And before you know it, a lot of people, you know, just start falling by the wayside. And and then all of a sudden the business implodes because it's not sustainable, because too many people leave. So the attrition rate in Cash FX is almost zero. I really don't know anybody that's left, unless we're maybe booted out. I don't know. But very, very, very rare that anybody leaves this business. So there's another big tick as well. So so I'm going to just go straight on to this page here, because that will just introduce you to why very few people leave. Okay, now, so there's two ways that you can earn from this business. I'll go into in a wee bit more detail in a second, but I'm just going to show you in basic terms first of all. Okay, so you can either be a bear or a bull, as you can see from this slide. Okay, now a bear is basically, as you can read the wee blurb there, it is passive participation through the purchase of any trade package. I'll talk about that in a second. And all it is required to benefit from bear capital, which includes trade earnings and forced matrix bonus. So in a nutshell, basically what you do is you put a little bit of money into the business, which is what you'll all be probably to be down to hear, you know, what all that is about. But you put a little bit of money into the business. We've got professional traders that trade that money for you on the foreign exchange market. Okay, and you don't need to know anything about it. You can just sit back, sit in your bed, go about your business all day, and you're earning money throughout the day while you're doing other things, or earning while you're sleeping. All right. And then you've got the bull, the other way of earning money. That's a wee bit more gung-ho. That's for the people who are, you know, they really want to make some serious wealth for themselves and really, really push, you know, really milk this business for all it's worth. So I always remember, you know, the difference between the bear and the bull. A bear, if you think about a bear, it sort of hibernates, doesn't it? You know, in winter. So think of a bear sort of, you know, just sort of sits back and enjoys, you know, the rewards that are being reaped around them. And then there's the bull, someone who's just a bit more, you know, gung-ho, someone who likes to get at it. Yeah, a bit like a bull in a china shop. All right. And I'm going to explain the difference in the two. So, sorry, I'll just explain. The bull is where most people, if you can read the wee blurb here, this is where you start referring people, because it'll go a little bit faster. And I'll explain that again in a little bit more detail in a second. So obviously what you're all sort of, you know, listening here this evening, if you're new or wanting to understand, is right, well, how much is it going to cost me to get involved in this business? Okay, so first of all, I'm going to bring you to this page here. Okay, and this will explain exactly that that topic that I'm about to chat about. Okay, so very, very cleverly designed, this business for the masses. And that's what I was saying to you about very, very low attrition. It's, you know, the business, they know for a fact, the CEOs know that there's going to be people who are a bit more bullish, and there are going to be some people in businesses that are going to be a bit more like a bear. Yeah. They also understand that there are people that are going to have different levels of wealth, different spending ability. So they have this designed where you can come in to this business as little as $300, as you can see there. And you could come in at any level here that I'm going to show you: $500, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $7,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, right up to $100,000. And there are a few people that come in at $100,000. They really do truly spot the potential in this business and just go and fire all their hard-earned income at this business. But most of us, Joe Public, come in at this level here, maybe around the 300, 500, 1,000. They're the sort of more common stages that people come into the business. Okay, so we say that, you know, you're sort of maybe probably thinking, right, well, you know, if you're setting up a business, well, how can you just sit back and do nothing? Well, of course you can in this business, because what's happening is the money that you're putting in, the $300, $500, whatever it is, the money that you're putting into the business is doing the work for you. And the professional traders that we have that work for us, they're the ones that are, you know, doing all the technical stuff in the background. So it's your money that is working for you, okay? And that's why you can just sit back and absolutely do nothing. So if people think it's too good to be true, oh yeah, you come into this business and do nothing, well, it's your money really that's doing the work for you, okay? So it really is absolutely true that you can sit back and earn while you sleep. Okay, so you come into the business at $300, okay? You're going to earn a percentage return from that income every single week from the foreign exchange market. Now, at the minute, and probably quite consistently for the last maybe year or so, it's been returning around about 5% per week, okay? So if you come in with a $300 trading pack, yeah, there's a large proportion of that goes to the trading market. The other proportion of it goes towards, you know, paying other people and things like that. Now, I'll explain that in a second. But 70% of your $300 goes towards, you know, goes out to the foreign exchange market, and you reap the benefits from what the traders do with our money, the expertise that they have, and you'll return approximately 5% every single week. Now, what that's going to return for you on a $300 pack every single week is $10 roughly. Yeah. On a $500 package, it'll be about $17, $18. On a $1,000 packet, it's going to be about $35, $36 every single week. Okay. Now you think about it. If you've got $1,000 sitting in your bank, okay, I guarantee you that's not going to earn you $36 by the end of the year, never mind every single week. So you're starting to see how lucrative this actually is. And if you think it's too good to be true, well, look at the $5.3 billion that's traded on the foreign exchange market every single day. Somebody's earning that money. So it's great that, you know, this has been opened up, you know, to Joe public. Okay. So are you going to get wealthy on just $10 a week with a $300 pack? Well, not really, no. But what happens is if you have a normal business, let's say you've got a hairdressing salon, a corner shop, a fish and chip shop, it doesn't matter what it is. You sell your first load of fish and chips, you sell your first load of, you know, Mars bars, confectionery, whatever it is in the corner shop. What's going to happen to that money? Well, you're going to take that money in, and you're going to then reinvest it and buy some more confectionery, or you're going to buy some more, you know, fish and potatoes and whatever it is for your business. Yeah. So you're reinvesting that money back into the business. And especially in the first year or two, anybody who sets up in business, a lot of your money gets reinvested back in. This is no different. Yeah. Because the $10 that you're going to earn every single week on that $300 pack is going to accumulate and accumulate and accumulate over probably about 5 or 6 months. And in that space of time, you're going to have the difference, which is between the $300 pack and the $500 pack, which is the difference is $200. So when you get to around about $200, you can then buy this pack, and you only have to pay the difference. Okay, now you're on the $500 pack. 70% of the $500 is being traded for you every single week. So what's happening then? You're now reaping, instead of $10 a week, you're reaping in about $18 every single week. So then that's going to accumulate and accumulate and accumulate every week. And when those profits accumulate, you can then, when you get the difference between the $500 and the $1,000 pack, then you've got $500, the $500 difference from your profits you can use to purchase this next trading pack. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Yeah, but that's how it works. Yeah. Now, meanwhile, you don't have to use the whole $200 to upgrade to this level. You don't have to use the whole $500 to upgrade to that. You can withdraw a little bit at the same time as you so wish. It's very wise in the beginning stages to use most of your profits to reinvest in to move up a level. But as you keep going up and up and up the packs, what's going to happen is you've got a little bit more money, and it's wise to take a little bit out for yourself, reinvest a little bit. And that's the best way, and get a nice balance between the two. And that's what all of us tend to do here. Because after all, you know, you want this to be a business that you're going to, you know, be able to live from, and maybe even give up your job, maybe even sack your boss, you know, eventually. You don't want it to be a long-term investment that you can't touch it, you know, until you're in your 60s or something. Well, that's not what this is about. It's about living a little and then reinvesting a little as well. So it's very, very, very clever. So eventually you get yourself up to this level, which is the $100,000 pack. Okay. Now, if you're sitting back and being a bear, as you can see in the, you know, in that slide that I was telling you there, if you're sitting back and just using the profits from the foreign exchange market, the $10 every week on a $300 pack, the $18 on a $500 pack, the $36 roughly on a $1,000 pack, etc., etc. If you're just using the profit from the foreign exchange market, the trading, to get you up the levels, it's going to take you, we've worked it out, it's going to take you approximately 5 years to get to this big golden level here, which is the very top, which is the ultimate, as we call it, the $100,000 pack. Okay, you can't go any further. Now, there's ways and means that you can, you know, start buying back in again and this, that, and the other, but that's all for another day, a discussion that you can chat with when you get to that stage, if you're fortunate enough to come into this business, and if we're fortunate enough to have you. But anyway, $100,000, once you get to that stage, now what does that mean? What is a $100,000 pack? Well, 70% of that is being traded every single day for you, yeah, which is $70,000 is being traded every single day. So in 5 years' time, what's that going to return for you? It's going to return around about $3,500 every single week. Now, imagine if you just took $3,500 out one week and reinvested, you know, the $3,500 the other 3 weeks of the month. There's $3,500 in 5 years' time. Now, I don't know about you. I don't know, or you could maybe take $3,500 out 2 weeks out of that month and reinvest to the 3.5 the other 2 weeks. It's completely down to you. Obviously, you have to work it right, so it's all sort of balanced, that you don't, you know, sort of go backwards or go downhill, but we'll help you with all of that. So there's a potential of $7,000 in 5 years' time that you could be taking as a monthly income. Now, I don't know about you, but there's not too many businesses, you know, especially with, you know, there's not too many businesses that are given too many pay increases these days. In fact, it's probably the opposite, you know. And even if you were to go and look for another job, I mean, do you know another job out there that's going to pay you that? Or any job that you can work your way up to a certain level, it's going to pay you $7,000 every single month? I don't know too many. So this is a fantastic opportunity for anybody who can really see the potential in this. We all on the inside can. Let me tell you this, I got involved in this business about 1.5 years ago, and there was only about 20,000 people in this business. Now there's about 350,000 people in this business. So in a year, so we're not all Looney Tunes, you know, we're not all, you know, we've all got a wee bit of a savvy about us. We've all done our research. We've all read some of the negative things you see on Google. First thing you do is type in, you know, CashFX onto Google and you'll see bad news. But you got to think a wee bit outside the box and think, why is that? Why is that happening? And generally they're trying to promote their own, you know, some of their kind of business. So they're actually using us. It's actually quite a compliment, to be honest. You know, they're riding on our coattails and, you know, using, putting us down to pull themselves up. So it's actually quite a compliment. But anyway, you know, we've all done our research. We've all listened to the webinars, listened to the CEO. We've done everything. We've looked into it all. And I don't know anybody in this business that's uncomfortable with where it's going. So, so there you are. That's really in a nutshell how it works. Now, how I said you get there in 5 years, yeah, if you just use the trading, yeah. But this is where it gets really, really, really exciting. Let's say you become a bull, okay, and you say to yourself, right, I'm going to really build some serious wealth for myself. You can get to that $100,000 pack significantly quicker than 5 years. Now, John is here, who is hosting this meeting tonight, is living proof of that. It just took him just over a year to get there. Now, how did he do it? If he had just relied on the money from the trade-in, he wouldn't have got there. It would have taken him another 4 years to get there. But what he did was he shared it. He shared it with friends and family. He shared it with people, you know, strangers. He looked for people that, you know, are interested in, you know, this foreign exchange space. He looked for people that are interested in cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, people that, you know, sort of like minds. It doesn't have to be just about friends and family, you know, let's get our claws into them. Not necessarily, but believe me, they'll want to get involved once they see what you're earning, but definitely believe me. So what John did was he just shared it, just like he would share a good news story about, you know, going to a nice restaurant, you know, or watching a nice film, and he's just shared it. And we do encourage such a softly approach like that. You know, we're not, you know, salespeople by any stretch of the imagination, but John recognized the potential in this very, very, very early on, and basically just shared it. So the more he shared it, the more people have come on board. And remember, I said that 70% of the money that you bring into the business goes towards the trading. Well, the other 30% goes towards you know, rewarding people like John, people like myself, people like different people that are on here this evening that's going to be speaking. That 30% gets distributed out to the people that are you know, that are just being a bit more bullish, yeah, as I've said here, and are sharing the opportunity. Okay, so it's very simple. It's a very, very simple business. But if you want to push it on that wee bit quicker, you really got to put, you know, the work in and trying to find different people and talking to people and building a team and that kind of thing. Okay, right. Okay, I'm not going to talk much more. I mean, I think that sort of covers it. There's an awful lot more to understand about the business, you know, looking at, you know, here's like there's all sorts of bonuses you can get, you know, uni level bonus, matrix bonus, and these can be hugely more sizable than earning from the foreign exchange market, the trading income that you receive. And we're all on this call this evening are living proof of that we can earn an awful lot more from the other bonuses that are available. But the best thing to do is to get with the person who has invited you. It gets a wee bit technical if I was to talk about it now on this webinar, but I hope I've sort of explained just, you know, the sort of the bare bones of what the business is about. And hopefully you will have the foresight to do some research, speak to the person who invited you, speak to any of us if you want. And I really, really, really genuinely hope that you do join us, because there are a lot worse things you can do. In fact, everything's worse. This is one of the best things you could do, and every one of us can vouch for that. Okay, I'm going to stop it there. I'm going to pass it back to the lovely John Bates, and he is going to carry on the meeting. So thank you, John, for introducing me and giving me the opportunity to present.
Okay, yeah. Thanks, Julia. I just love it when you present your simplistic version of it. Okay, it's not necessary to show the whole 9 yards. You always show just enough, certainly to get me to join again. Absolutely incredible. The slide I'm looking at the moment, the uni level bonus. When my good friend James and I joined CashFX, we've been in businesses together. We've known each other for about 28 years. Good God, I was his age when we first met. And I'm not anymore. But when we looked at things and I looked at all them chevrons, I thought, what the hell is all that about? But eventually all came clear to us. There was no training system then. We actually flew this by the seat of our pants based on faith. We believed in what we had our hands on. And we had a good teacher in Luigi Bruni in Canada, who incidentally is one of the top money earners in CashFX now. So that was absolutely fantastic. Could you stop sharing screen, Julie?
Yeah. I do normally get to explain that wee slide there, but you know, I just was really conscious of time that you know, so
no, you do just enough.
okay.
I think one of the things that always impressed me right from the beginning was I looked at the package levels and the ability to compound my profits. I've been in conventional businesses for many, many years, and I understood the concept of compounding profits, because that's what any good business builder does in the conventional world. You make a bit of profit, you use up some material, you go out, as Julie said, and you have to buy more material when you're employing men. Oh, that's fun. And you have to pay the men. And guess what happens every Friday? That got scary at times. And I looked at the package levels, and I realized that if you did what we call delayed gratification for a short period of time, you can climb up those package levels a lot quicker, especially if you share it with other people. And I made a plan in the early days. I wouldn't start taking out what I call me money until I got to the 15K package. 15K seemed like trying to get the Mars in those days. But even James and me said, wow, that's the other side of the universe. Do you know, we couldn't believe that within 3-4 months, we'd actually achieved our goal just by finding good people, like the people on this presentation tonight, who shared it with their friends and taught them to share it with their friends and their friends and their friends. This is a business about teaching teachers to teach teachers to teach. And I think now what's going to happen is Julianne's going to spend a little time with a very good friend of hers, Grainnie Maher, and Grainnie is going to actually explain what she saw in this business when she first, well, prior to joining, and when she saw after she joined. So again, I'm going to pass it back to Julie to have a chat with Grainnie.
Yeah, thanks, John. Yeah, I introduced Grainnie to this business. Grainnie's a really good friend of mine from school. We've known each, well, actually, it wasn't school, actually. We lived in the same area. So I knew Grainnie before we started, you know, the school that we went to. And, you know, so we've known each other. We're lifelong friends, more or less. And, you know, our families and all know each other and that kind of thing. And yeah, so I introduced Grainnie to it. So I'm actually going to ask you just a couple of wee questions, Grainnie, just for the benefit of anybody listening here this evening, because, you know, everybody listening this evening is just like you and me, you know, and been introduced to this business, you know, just the same way probably, you know, that you were. So I just want to ask you, first of all, what, you know, what was it about this business, or what was it about what, you know, what you heard from me that pricked your ears up and made you decide to join?
Well, I guess for a little while, for a few months anyway, I'd been noticing your posts on Facebook. You know, you'd been advertising the business and you were very enthusiastic about it. Your posts were very concise and clear, and you know, it was really intriguing. I could see that you were, as the months were going by, you were getting more and more excited about CFX yourself. So I have been a self-employed person for over 20 years, and I know, you know, money is, you know, you earn it. I've never had to rely on a wage, or I had a wage to rely on, rather. And, you know, John was talking about pensions and things like that. Like I don't have such a thing. I have no pension scheme really provisions set out for myself. So I'm age 47 now, and I guess when I was looking at your posts on Facebook, I was thinking to myself, this could be the sideline that I've been, you know, asking the universe, manifesting. Then please come up with some solution that would be you know, another option for me that you can kind of make money while you're asleep, in a way. And so I contacted you then, you know, just online on the Facebook chats or whatever, and you said, look, come on and sit and present presentations like the one we're actually giving this evening. And it took me, you know, a month or two to think about it or whatever. I didn't rush into it. I would advise everybody to take a wee bit of time and do their due diligence online, and you know, just read about, I guess, the world of Bitcoin and all of that kind of stuff. Is just like this brave new world. And in a way, CashFX has been a window into the realities of cryptocurrency, as well as, obviously, this is a foreign exchange trading business. But it does, you do deal with Bitcoin when you're bringing your money in and out of the account. And it was a leap of faith there to realize that actually, yes, this Bitcoin stuff people are talking about is real, it's tangible. And yeah, I just thought CFX sort of ticked a lot of boxes there, because it gave me a window into, you know, new things that are happening in the world at large, I suppose.
Yeah, brilliant. So, Grainnie, what about you know, your progress? Because I know you started back at about the start of the year there, didn't you?
Yeah, it was just at the very end of January.
January, that's
yeah.
right, that's right. So now we're just into the start of November, you know, probably about 10 months into the
9
business.
months, really,
Tell me about the progress that you've made, you know, and how you feel about it. Are you pleased with it? And you know,
I took the leap. I was so convinced by this. By the time it took those few months to I joined a few meetings. And I'd listened to James Curtis, who, you know, wonderful guy, very, very, very honest and very open, and very good teacher like yourself, able to break things down. So I took the leap and decided I would invest $5,000. I came in slightly higher, I suppose, than maybe people that I've now known since, that would come in below, as you say, $300, $500, $1,000. I just thought, I'm going to go for it. I really was that convinced. I just thought, I really like the sound of this. I want to get started and get earning a weekly income that's quite substantial. I can't quite remember, what is that, about a $75 a week return on 5,000? I can't remember now, because I've just bought the 15k pack, and that's within 9 months. I've upgraded to 15,000, and I'm definitely on track for 20,000 by the time the 12 months is through. So, and this is with basically not being a massive bullish person. I have by default got 10 people under me. Some people you have placed because you're my upline, so you've placed a few people below me. And then I've obviously I've got a few friends and family that have come in as well. But I've been very, very busy in my own self-employed business that I do. So I'm coming into a quieter period with that now. So I imagine in the winter months I will probably be a bit more busier with CashFX. That's my plan anyway. So who knows what else I'll manage to do before the year is out.
Great. So yeah, I mean, for the move from, you know, a 5,000 pack up to 15,000 in 10 months without being too gung-ho, you know,
No.
you've brought some people in and all the rest of it, is amazing. I mean, that's just brought you up to what is that you're earning roughly about, what is it, about 550 a week?
So I've literally just last week done, this will be my first week trading at 15, so it will be about 550 or something like that.
So you've invested 5,000 at the start of the year and you're earning 550 a week, you know, so I mean, you've got that back in a few months, you know, easy, you know, where would you get it? But anyway, last week question for you, Grainnie, is you know, I know, you know, you're an avid follower of, you know, watching the CEOs on our end of month events. I know you never miss. And, you know, just from listening to that, you know, tell me what you feel, you know, the future of CashFX, you know, where it's going. I mean, and how confident and how comfortable do you feel, you know, especially watching those end of month events with them? Do you feel about where this is going?
I just feel so impressed by how they are constantly innovating within the business. I mean, I know we're yet to have the release of this copy trading thing that they keep talking about, but that's going to be very big news within the next year, I assume. The way they're upgrading the payment systems and all of those kind of things, like they are constantly working at the back end in order to streamline the business and to make it easier for us. So I remember I had to at the start, I had to take money out into an Exodus wallet before I could then upgrade or whatever. Now you can upgrade internally. It just sort of, it's short and sweet. Like I just went in and did the upgrade to 15k in seconds, really, never mind minutes. It was done so quickly. But also, you know, taking the money out, I've been able to take a little bit of money out as well already and stuff. So it's kind of like, I just think listening to those end of month meetings just shows how progressive the business is. It's constantly refreshing itself and thinking of new things and new ways to grow, because there's so many people involved now.
Brilliant, Grainnie. Well, listen, thank you very much for, for coming on and taking the time, to answer those questions. And hopefully that'll go a long way, towards, helping people, make a decision here this evening that have been watching, this overview, because we're real people. Grainnie is an old friend of mine, and and she's moving up the ranks just the way the rest of us are, and it doesn't mean, and I know you're a very special person, Grainnie, but you don't have to be that special. You don't have to be that special. You don't have to be too talented. Grainnie is multi-talented, by the way, everybody, but you don't have to be too talented to do what we do. Just follow the process. It's a tried and tested method. It's a great system, and Grainnie's living proof of that. And I'm really proud to have you on board with us, Grainnie, because you've
so glad you introduced me to it. Yeah,
thank you. Oh, there you go. So John, I'll move it back to you again then. All right.
Oh, well, I am so mega impressed with Grainnie. Honestly, I say that because my understanding is it's probably the first time that she's ever spoken in public or on screen or to a camera. And it takes me back to the first time I have ever had to speak in public, 1984. Good grief, none of you were alive then. And I had to stand in front of a whiteboard and do a 40-minute presentation, drawing circles. Some of you may understand what that was. Now, I was nowhere near as confident as Grainnie. I shook in my boots. Fortunately, I was wearing a three-piece suit, and I don't think it noticed at the time. So, Grainnie, you have my wholehearted congratulations.
Oh, thank you, John. Thank you very much.
Now, when Julianne was talking about or doing the presentation, she was talking about the head offices in Panama City, the whole 9th floor of the RBS Tower, and they've even got sad people now saying that it was all set up and they were all actors, etc. Yeah, we've heard it all before. These people look even more stupid every time they make a comment. But what we're going to do now is we're going to show you a very short video on the opening of the world headquarters in Panama City. Hopefully Kevin hasn't fell asleep. He's still there in the control room.
All right, give me a second. So technical issue again.
We're working with revolutionary technology for the better of the people.
Cualquier persona que haga trade en este momento puede estar haciendo trade, pero yo le acabo de decir, nosotros estamos ganando dinero.
You know how important it is, the trust and the credibility that you all deposit in us, and we are grateful for that.
Todos los días nosotros estamos creando cosas nuevas.
This ribbon here represents the future of CFX.
Wow, absolutely incredible. Both Pauline and I watched that right the way through from the beginning to the end. We'd waited a long time for it because of COVID. I don't know if you've unshared or whatever you have to do, Kevin. Can't see me. I'm here somewhere.
Yeah, you're unshared.
Oh, good. It's not showing my picture, but there you go. Right. The opening, we had to wait quite a while because of COVID and the transportation of the materials. A lot of the wood and everything, the paneling on the walls come from Brazil. I thought it was only nuts came from Brazil, but apparently timber comes from Brazil as well. And it was absolutely incredible. Now, what you saw, Julianne was talking about was the way that these things work. What's more important is being able to see the how these things work. And I'm going to introduce you to a fairly new friend of mine. It's not years ago that Andrew Wheatley joined, but Andrew Wheatley's built an incredible business, and Andrew is actually going to show you his back office and his journey through CFX. So I'd like to pass it over to Andrew. You there, Andrew?
I'm right here, loud and clear. Thank you very much. Well, how do I follow all of that? Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Just loving hearing the stories and loving hearing people, how they're getting on and what they're doing. They're not wrong. This business is absolutely mind-blowing. It's blown my mind and everyone on here, everyone's mind. So I'll go into my back office and show what it's all about.
You're going to have to share your screen first.
Yep, I'm just, is it camera, is it? I'm not sure how to share screen.
There's a wee green button at the bottom with an arrow on it. Share screen.
Share screen and
click the other share screen.
Screen, I've got it.
Boom.
Yeah.
Hey, there we go. Right, let's into my back office, okay? Everyone seeing that okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, I came in this business just over a year ago, and I've just not looked back since. Absolutely brilliant. Just do the little passwords and stuff. It just, oh my days, it always does stuff like this, doesn't it? I think these are the veins of John's life, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely.
Right then. It just shows you that there is security, you know, and that not anyone can just jump in to what you've got and steal your money. Hopefully that should be it. Yeah, we're getting there now. Here we are. Sorry for the wait, guys. We're in. So let's have a look at this outstanding business that we're all talking about. That well, I absolutely love, and I'm so happy I'm in it. So I'll go into my balance. Oops. Let's have a look at what's going on in my balance. It's just taking a long time to sort of get in.
Getting there.
Getting there, it's just loading up. I'm having quite a lot of trouble with my internet at the moment, so I'm just hoping it actually does it. We're going to get in there. I don't know if it's going to load as well. Oh, here we go. It is loading.
I think it's still loading the.
There we go.
There we go.
Because I've got Zoom running on it as well, you see. Nearly there. Oh, we're looking somewhere. Hey, there we are. Brilliant. So when I started a year ago, I started with just $300. $300 is what I started with. And as you can see in the balance, I've already got 2,500 odd, yeah? And being started on the $300, I'm on the 10 grand pack now, and that's making me $350 every single week. So I'm getting back what I first put in a year ago every single week, which is, that just blows my mind. Blows my mind every single week. So
Incredible.
go right back to the start, yeah? I think that's it, isn't it? The start? Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yep. So my first payment in here, I got a tiny $3.84. Look, and that was my first ever payment. Because I started like halfway through, and then it moved up. My weekly payments were like $11.84. Slowly but surely, they started moving up with these are my trade pools, and then I got my first fast start, and that came in. The first person that joined up, I got $45, which is here. And it just started escalating as I started sharing with family and friends, and then they started sharing with family and friends. And little by little, the account started climbing and snowballing. And I always say, this company may start tiny, may start like a little seed, and trees grow from seeds and forests grow from trees. So it'll just keep escalating, snowballing and snowballing. Look at these now, trading pool getting bigger and bigger. Uni level bonuses coming in from me sharing, yeah, to people. So let's go to where we are now. Is that where we are?
Yeah, the 11th, yeah.
Yep, so now, as you can see, payments are rolling in. $352. That's for a week here. $303 from a uni level. A force matrix, which is normally quite small. That was $12. We get that every fortnight. Another trading pool, $351. Uni level, $420. Fast start, $300. A matrix, $169. So all these little payments are coming in and just making the balance grow and grow, where I've taken money out. So, you know, it's not like it's stuck in here and you can never see your money. I've taken it out. I've paid bills. I've looked after me and my kids. We've gone out for the day and we've used the money. So you just can't go wrong, really. It's just fantastic. Absolutely love it. Let's have a look at something else.
Yeah.
So we get paid on the matrix every single fortnight. And that was what, on the 1st and on the 16th. And already there's payments coming into the matrix, which is just fantastic. If it loads up. Don't know if it will.
Get there in a minute.
Yeah, it's just taking a long time. It's quite a lag on it. But yeah, look, in my matrix already, payments are coming in.
That's
just
incredible.
showing you the power of this company, of just sharing just to a few people how it works. Yeah, just fantastic. Just love it. So if you want to know more, you definitely need to get talking to the person that's invited you onto the Zoom, or that you've seen on Facebook or what have you. And here, look, just 2 trade days, and I've already got 146 come in already. So
That's great.
just shows you the power of this company is just phenomenal. Just absolutely love it. I think that's really it, really.
Yeah.
Do you want me to share anything else at all?
No. You've been in just under a year, haven't you?
Just over a year. So I started on the October last year. I started, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm now on the 10 grand pack, and I've got about, I think, 280 people under me.
Yeah.
And it's just like I said, it's just escalating. Another year from now is going to be bonkers, absolute bonkers. I can see it happening.
What amazes me with these figures is if you put your $300 into your savings account down your bank, I know Santander did send me a letter telling me what the interest rate was on my savings, and it was 0.01% per annum.
Wow.
And you know, I recently worked out that if I had £1 million in my savings account down that nice secure bank, do you know how much profit I would have made in a year?
How much?
£100. By having £1 million in the bank. What was actually interesting is that during the course of that year, the interest rate, not the interest rate, the price where prices go up.
Inflation.
Inflation was running at 3%. That actually meant that my £1 million after 1 year, although it still said £1 million, only had a purchasing power of something like £9,700. It had actually lost value in a year. So all I can say to people who are keeping your money in that nice, safe bank account, allowing the banks to trade on the Forex market the same as we do, they must love you, because they give you 0.01% per annum. For those who don't know what annum means, that's per year. That is an absolute rip-off. What I'd like to do is, I got to thank Andrew for taking us through his back office. Pauline and I, we probably get a bit spoilt when we look at ours because we're on the 100k pack and etc. And that only means we've trod the path a little bit longer than everybody else. But when I see people, the back office of people like Andrew, I know I'm in the right business at the right time, simply because unlike other network marketing businesses that I've been in, everybody is making income in CashFX, whether they choose to be a bear and just be a passive trader, or whether they want to become a bull and share it with your friends. And quite honestly, I think of this myself, that if I'd been in something, or I don't know, maybe I was digging in my back garden and I found a diamond mine. Do you think I might pop round and see my Kevin and see members of my family and say, hey, come and have a look at this. We're going to have a crack at this. This is worth having. So all I can say is thank you, everybody, for being on. And those who are watching this for the first time, again, I say take the bull by the horns, or should I say take the bear by the ears? I don't know. Just get in and test the water. We're not talking about the national debt. we're talking about the price of a couple of good nights out. My Kevin tells me that to go out and have what we used to have a 50p night out, yeah, you got drunk on 50p. These days cost you well over £100. So sacrifice a couple of good nights out and a couple of good hangovers, and you could actually get your future started with CashFX. And with that, I'll pass it back to Kevin in the control room. And oh yeah, before I go, those of you who are looking at it for the first time, get back to the person that introduced you to this, and they will answer all your questions. And if they don't know the questions, they'll phone me up. So I'm going to pass it back to Kevin, and we'll close the meeting. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you guys for a great meeting, and thank you obviously to our speakers today, John and Julianne and Grainnie. I hope I pronounced it right. I probably haven't.
It's great.
You're all amazing. You're superstars. And as John said, guys, yeah, get back to the person that invited you here tonight. Jump on board. You never forget, and you'll never regret it. It's one hell of a journey, and we will see you on our next meeting.
Okay.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks, guys.